Salman is the first person to offer me a film.
It's just
Before Om Shanti Om.
Yes, I was just not ready for it. I was not ready for films. I didn't want to be an actor at that time. And then, literally 2 years later, Om Shanti Om happened. But he saw potential in me when even I didn't know I had it. Look, after 15 years of being here, I'm now finally working with Hrithik. So I love action. I love cable work. When you're put on cables and you're swung and from one place to another. I love action. And
Akif from Mumbai. How long we'll have to wait to see two megastars, Salman Khan and Deepika Reacts, together on a big screen in full-fledged roles? This is my question as well. When I saw you on the Big Boss and the way you were teasing him, that आप कल कहाँ पर थे मैं बताऊं आपको गैलेक्सी पे थे उसके अलावा आप कहाँ पर थे there was a moment, there is chemistry happening over there.
Is he a Capricorn? I think he is.
He's a Capricorn, yeah. 27th December.
Yes, we're both Capricorns. But no, I mean, we've always had this beautiful relationship, and I'll always be grateful to him because he was one of the first people to offer me a film. Salman is the first person to offer me a film.
It's just
before Om Shanti Om.
Yes. It's just the tragedy is that I was not ready for it. I had just started modeling. And I think somebody that I had worked with mentioned my work to him, or he happened to see it, or something like that happened. And he offered me, I don't want to mention which film it was, but yes, he was the first person to offer me a film. But the tragedy, like I said, is that I was just not ready for it. I was not ready for films. I didn't want to be an actor at that time. And then, literally 2 years later, Om Shanti Om happened. But so I'll always be grateful for that, and he and I know that. He and I know that he saw potential in me when even I didn't know I had it. So as far as a film is concerned, I mean, look, after 15 years of being here, I'm now finally working with Hrithik. So I don't think you can, and I've never been that person who works towards putting projects together. I want to work with this director and I want to work with this actor and let's kind of put it together. I've always been a let things happen organically. And so if Fighter's happening after so many years, I'm sure there'll be a time and place for that to happen as well.
Okay, this is Bhumi from US. In the recent years, you have starred in films that have addressed pressing social issues like acid attacks, sexism, and now with Geraya, mental health issues. Given that, what are the type of films and social issues that you want to address in your career? That is in the future, I believe.
Well, honestly, the choices never begin with wanting to consciously address a social issue. It starts with wanting to tell stories that are about the human spirit. So it starts with that. Even with Chapak, for example, it's not that the fact that we were addressing acid violence in India and globally was secondary to the fact that I felt that Lakshmi's journey and her story and her grit and determination is what drew me to do this film. And a byproduct of that was addressing the issue. Same with 83. It wasn't about telling the world about this victorious moment in Indian sport. It was about telling the story of these underdogs and their grit and their determination. And by the way, you happen to tell a story that is about one of the greatest moments in sporting history. Again, with Gehraiyan, the intent was not to tell a film that addresses mental health issues. It was about talking about childhood trauma, talking about how so much of our past baggage we carry with us, about choices, about consequences, and infidelity was one of those themes. And then by somewhere, the mental health narrative is now coming out, So, but the endeavor was to tell stories of people that are real, stories of people that are broken, and an insight into their world. And by default, now we're talking about how Alisha deals with her anxiety and her mental health issues. So that's not really been the focus. So I hope that I continue to keep it like that, where it's more about the person and the people, and along the way, hopefully be able to tell a much larger story.
Amir from Germany, why there's no official announcement on Pathan yet?
Well, that's a question only Aditya Chopra can answer.
Vaibhav from Munger, hey Deepika, who's your favorite between Piku and Alisha?
How can I choose? It's like asking a parent to choose whether they like their older daughter more or their younger daughter more. It's, or asking whether they prefer their daughter to their son. It's really difficult. Or asking you whether you like your mother more or your father more. It's tough. They're both beautiful characters for me, but they're also so different. So different but so beautiful, and both of them have been delicious experiences for me, so it'd be difficult to choose.
Alright, this is Prakash DP. Ask her about working experience with Prabhas and Ashwin in Project K.
It's been amazing. I've done one schedule so far, and I think, of course, the talent, the mind, the way their minds work, I think all of that is there for everyone to see, especially in all of these movies that are coming out now. But I talk about the things that probably people don't get to see, which is just their humility. There's just so much humility in every pore of their body. It's incredible.
About this phenomenon of South Indian movies, the way they have gone mainstream, they're not regional anymore.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the beauty of our country also, is its diversity. But for a very long time, we also functioned as very different industries, so to say. And I think it's really exciting now to see those boundaries blur and to see those lines blur. And I think, I said this earlier, whether it's the Gujarati fraternity or the Bengali community or Telugu cinema or Tamil cinema or Malayalam cinema, everyone's has been doing incredible work for a very long time. It's just that now more and more people are accepting it or embracing it or whatever the right word is, and those lines are blurring, and I think it's high time that happened.
All right, one last question. You are doing a lot of action in a few of your forthcoming films. Are you enjoying that process?
Oh, I love action. I love action. I love cable work. When you're put on cables and you're swung and from one place to another. I love action. And when I tell my action directors this, they are shocked, because I don't think very many actors like doing action, especially when you're on, when you're harnessed. But I love harness work. I love action. So I'm really enjoying myself.